The teams for Formula One 2022 have also been confirmed by introducing all those new chassis and concepts. Amid the new era, Michael Andretti has been in the headlines to join the grid by 2024 with an all-new team. So let's dive into the video and get an insight on this. Are Formula One titans concerned regarding Andretti's $1 billion plan? Will Buxton, an F1 broadcaster, says the Formula One giants are worried about the potential strength of an Andretti Autosport entrance into the grid, which might happen as early as 2024. Andretti Global will become the 11th team on the field, with IndyCar driver Colton Herta expected to switch to F1 if the deal goes through. According to Mario, Renault is the frontrunner for an engine partner, who claims a contract has already been signed. However, Andretti informed Motorsport.com that he needed a response within a month to make the team ready for the 2024 championship. The 41-year-old British reporter stated that he spoke to many people this weekend in the IndyCar paddock. The Andretti F1 project is extremely serious. They might pay the entry fee of $200 million like chump change, and in a non-budget capped period, have enough resources to make the top three grimace. So it's no surprise that the establishment is concerned. What are Mercedes team principals' thoughts about Andretti's $1 billion plan? To everyone's surprise, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has estimated that the actual cost of establishing an F1 team is close to $1 billion. Although the 51-year-old team principal and CEO of Mercedes has acknowledged the potential significance of the Andretti brand to the sport, he highlighted that the new team would also have to fulfill all of the FIA and F1 organization's financial and other requirements. Toto Wolff stated that he agrees that Andretti is a name, for sure, and the American market is crucial too. However, any team that joins must be lucrative, which implies they must bring value to the sport. Wolff further added that not only must it pay a $200 million entrance fee, but it must also showcase what it can accomplish for the other teams, F1, and the FIA, as only then can the sport flourish. Toto Wolff exclaimed that they are the ultimate apex, like the Champions League or the NFL, and allocating franchises is not the aim, nor should it be, nor is it the intention of F1 or the FIA. But if there is a legitimate name stepping in with excellent individuals, they would definitely need more than $200 million, perhaps $1 billion, if they want to play in this club right now. Well, why not after all? Red Bull team head Christian Horner agreed with Wolff that Andretti would demonstrate its capabilities and skills before joining the F1 circuit. What does Mario Andretti have to say about all this? In response to Toto Wolff's statement, Andretti stated that he feels he is going to contribute a lot more to the game in terms of money to the bottom line. The 59-year-old auto racing driver thinks that what we can accomplish for the United States is still extremely unexplored, and he believes there is a lot of potential that needs to be gained in the sport. He further exclaimed that by having a truly American team and driver, rather than a Russian driver, he can bring more than $100 million to the bottom line, which is all he'd ever collect from the prize money. According to F1 rules, 26 vehicles and 13 teams are permitted on the lineup. Since the mid-2010s, F1 has featured 10 teams, with Haas offsetting for the exits of Manor, Caterham, and HRT, and they were all part of a 12-team circuit at the start of the 2010s. Although all three teams were lapped over their time in the sport, they provided future race winners Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon with opportunities, among many others. Andretti stated that his team is focused on creating a path for American drivers to achieve F1, which is gaining popularity in the United States as a result of Netflix's Drive to Survive. What became of the failed Alfa Romeo and Haas takeover? You'd be startled to know that Andretti has been attempting to purchase the Haas F1 team for the past 2 years. Michael Andretti claims he has offered millions of proposals to buy the Haas Formula One team and is open to negotiations with owner Gene Haas. Still, he believes his colleague is not eager to sell his team. Following Andretti's failed effort to purchase a substantial part in the Sauber-run Alfa Romeo F1 operation, Mario Andretti recently told RacingNews365.com that his son has decided not to give up on getting an F1 entry. The probable merger was all but confirmed by the end of last year, with Andretti attempting to obtain an 80% ownership in Islero Investments. However, in October, the agreement was called off just before the United States Grand Prix. Andretti's team revealed concerns about team control, rather than financial considerations, were to blame. After failing to take over the existing Alfa Romeo branded Sauber team last year, the Andretti outfit was made a new proposal to enter F1, with an all-new team for 2024. Andretti's new strategy was first announced by his father, F1 world winner Mario, before being confirmed by the rest of the Andretti squad. In February, Mario Andretti ignited social media with a simple tweet, revealing that his son, Michael Andretti, is already in the process of forming a new F1 team. The team's goal is to have an Andretti Global entry on the lineup for the 2024 campaign. Andretti had wanted to enter F1 by acquiring the Sauber-run Alfa Romeo team. Still, the deal fell over the last minute, prompting the U.S. racing titans to build up a completely new organization. However, the project appears to be moving forward, with Andretti admitting that important persons are already in place race, and a rumored Renault engine contract set to power their vehicles. Now, in other related news. As per Binotto, Ferrari intends to improve the F175 for the Bahrain official preseason test. Ferrari team principal and engineer Mattia Binotto has described Scuderia's strategy for the official preseason test in Bahrain, stating that the outfit will optimize instead of drastically enhancing the vehicle that arrived in Barcelona. The red team covered the most mileage in Spain, with 439 laps to Mercedes' 392 laps, while Charles Leclerc set the quickest time on day 2 of preseason testing in February. Although Red Bull's Max Verstappen has indicated that his vehicle would look different in Bahrain, Ferrari's chief Binotto has stated the contrary regarding their team. The 52-year-old Italian engineer indicated that their automobile would not be much different from what they have now. For them, the first step would be to maximize what they have in Barcelona already. They are still far from optimal performance, not just because they burn a lot of gasoline or do not employ the optimum engine mode, but also because there is so much leverage on the automobile. The Ferrari boss went on to say that because his team acquired so much information in Barcelona, they have an opportunity to obtain higher efficiency from the F175 in Bahrain. The Scuderia appears to be in a solid position ahead of the official preseason test, but the true test will come on March 20th, when the spotlights would be on the season's first Grand Prix in Bahrain. So will Ferrari reclaim first place on Sunday? Well, we're excited to witness who takes the lead. Next, so much for Abu Dhabi being done and dusted. As the newly renovated Formula One cars of 2022 took on the event for the first time at the Circuit de Catalunya, it appeared that the sport had finally put last year's contentious ending behind it. At the FIA news conference, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner and his Mercedes counterpart Toto Wolff met the media together. Both suggested that they were ready to put the quarrels of Abu Dhabi behind them, where the championship conclusion depended on race director Michael Massi's surprise decision to organize a restart in a way that violated the regulation book and broke the prior precedent. Max Verstappen slammed the F1A's move to dump Massi by offering him a different post inside the organization. Lewis Hamilton had closed down additional queries about Abu Dhabi the day before, but it appears that Horner's situation wasn't quite done and dusted. Well, it's not surprising to know that for Christian Horner, Massi's departure came not from a failure to implement the regulations appropriately, but from a lot of pressure exerted on the FIA by one of their other opponents. Meanwhile, it remains to be seen whether the FIA will divulge from the inquiry to the incident, as Hamilton has demanded. All of this suggests that we still haven't heard the final verdict on Abu Dhabi. Lastly, Hamilton does not want his F1 career to be known just by his driving abilities. Lewis Hamilton wishes to be known as a Formula One racer who spurred progress, not only for his driving accomplishments. Hamilton's name is already firmly etched in Formula One history, as he holds the record for the most Grand Prix victories, 103, pole positions, 103, and is a 7-time world champion alongside Michael Schumacher. Aside from driving, the 27-year-old racer is one of Formula One's most prominent figures, focused on creating an inclusive and diverse environment in the sport. With the charitable fund Ignite, he intends that when people look back on his Formula One career in the future, they will appreciate him for his off-track activities as well. Mercedes has replicated Hamilton's goal by enhancing diversity inside the team with their Accelerate 25 project, which commits to having 25% of all new employees from underrepresented origins by 2025. Mercedes also used a large black livery for the 2020 and 2021 seasons. Hamilton was there at the presentation of the Mercedes 2022 Challenger, the W13. That's a wrap for this video. See you in the next one.